So we get asked quite often what it's actually like owning Huskies. And I'm going to tell you this. Memphis is an anomaly. Memphis is a very calm, sweet little tipper tappers, innocent little, you're an innocent Husky who just loves to watch play. These two, on the other hand, are, pretty much what you're gonna get if you are a multi-Husky household. For those of you that do not know, Eleanor is 2 years old, and Kira is almost 5 years old. She'll be 5 years old in March. And this is daily in our house. Normally when they start to wrestle like this, I'm like, all right, that's enough. We're going to go OUTSIDE. Sometimes, people always ask, do they ever get too rough? Yeah, you see, they're kind of getting a little bit rough right now, but they're usually pretty good. Sometimes Kira will get kind of like she's right now, backed into a corner, and Eleanor will be a little bit too mean to her, so I have to calm them down and break them up. And some of you are probably wondering exactly how it is I do that. I go, hey, enough, space. See how that worked? Eleanor's allowed to come back once they separate for a second. But basically what that does is it separates them for a second, and then they can kind of come back at it. But this is a pretty typical day in the life in our house. Yeah, pretty much this. All this, all the time. Eleanor, enough. Thank you. Give her space. Space. Yes, good job. So space is one of those commands that I have tried to teach the dogs. It's not a super easy one to teach, but I've tried to teach them that over the year. And the reason is they're still dogs. At the end of the day, they're still dogs. They're not people. They don't understand everything. And dogs can kind of get a little bit rough with each other. It does happen. It does happen, doesn't it? Not Memphis. Not you. You are the sweetest angel on the planet. You would never do anything wrong, would you? She's like, no, I'm too old for that fluffing stuff. Yeah, I get it. You are. But yeah, so at the end of the day, like I said, they're still dogs. So being able to teach them things like a space command or a calm and just separate them so things don't get too out of control and heated. The best thing about dogs, though, is unlike people, most of the time, if your dogs do have a little bit of a spat where they're kind of a little bit meaner to each other than they should be, usually when you break them up and let them back together, they're fine. People always ask, have your dogs ever fought? Not really. They've gotten rough with each other. Sometimes they show their teeth to each other, when they don't want them in their face. Like if Memphis doesn't want anybody in her face, she'll definitely tell them. But she's never gone after anybody. These two have gotten a little bit crazy rough once in a while. But normally if I just yell or tell them space, they break it up and then they're back to normal. So yeah, that is a real moment in the life of owning Huskies. What do you think of that? She's like, yeah, that's kind of how we is. We's a little crazy. Just a little? Just a little crazy? She's like, well, you asked for it by owning multiple Huskies. I did, and I wouldn't change it for the world. What? What do we want to tell people now? Say, don't forget to follow us. Click that follow button if you want to see more of who we are and what we do. Thanks for the support, you guys. We love you.